Jump into this incredible story, take a second and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with every basketball fan you know. Because what's happening inside the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball program right now is something special, and at the center of it is a rising star learning directly from one of the greatest coaches the game has ever seen. We're talking about the powerful sophomore forward Joyce Edwards and the remarkable transformation she's going through under legendary head coach Dawn Staley. This isn't just another college basketball story. This is a story about pressure, expectations, and what happens when elite talent meets elite leaders. When Joyce Edwards arrived at South Carolina, the hype was already sky high. She came in as one of the most dominant high school players in the country, strong, fearless, and ready to make an immediate impact. But stepping into Dawn Staley's program means entering one of the toughest cultures in all of women's college basketball. Every practice is a battle. Every minute on the court must be earned. And every player is pushed to discover just how great they can become. Now in her sophomore season, Joyce Edwards is no longer just a promising young player. She's evolving into a major force for the Gamecocks, learning the mental side of the game, expanding her skills, and proving she belongs on one of the most powerful teams in the nation. But the real question is, how exactly did Dawn Staley help unlock the next level of Joyce Edwards' game? And could this young star be the next great player to rise out of the South Carolina dynasty? Stay with us, because this story of growth, discipline, and championship mentality is just... The arena lights blaze down on the hardwood, the sound of sneakers squeaking echoes through the gym, and the energy surrounding South Carolina women's basketball feels electric. But before we dive into this incredible story of growth, leadership, and determination, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. Because today we're talking about one of the rising stars in college basketball and how she's evolving under one of the greatest coaches. This is the story of how Joyce Edwards is transforming her game during her sophomore season with the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball, and how learning from legendary coach Dawn Staley is shaping her into one of the most complete players in the country. When Edwards first stepped onto campus in Columbia, South Carolina, expectations were already sky high. She wasn't just another recruit joining the Gamecocks program. She arrived as one of the most decorated high school players in the country, a dominant forward with size, skill, and a competitive fire that made scouts and analysts believe she could be special. But stepping into a program run by Dawn Staley means stepping into a culture unlike any other in women's college basketball. At South Carolina, talent is everywhere. Every player on the roster was a star before arriving. Every player was used to being the best on their team. But under Staley's system, those accolades reset to zero. Edwards quickly realized that wearing the Gamecocks jersey meant something bigger than individual success. Practices were intense. Every drill had purpose. Every possession mattered. Veterans on the team set the tone. They understood what it meant to compete for championships, and they expected the same level of commitment from younger players like Edwards. For Edwards, that environment became both a challenge and an opportunity. During her freshman season, she flashed her potential in moments, powerful drives to the basket, dominant rebounding performances, and defensive plays that energized the entire arena. But like many young players entering elite programs, she also had to adjust to the speed and physicality of college basketball. Sophomore year, though, is where the real transformation. Edwards started to understand the game differently. Instead of simply reacting to plays, she began anticipating them. Instead of relying purely on athleticism, she learned how to read defenses, recognize mismatches, and make smarter decisions with the ball. Much of that growth came directly from Dawn Staley. Staley, a Hall of Fame player and championship coach, has built a reputation not just for winning games but for developing players into complete athletes. Her coaching philosophy is simple: challenge players until they discover their true potential. For Edwards, that meant constant feedback. Film sessions where every defensive rotation was analyzed. Practices where every missed box-out was corrected. Conversations about leadership, discipline, and accountability. Sometimes those lessons came with tough love. Staley has never been a coach who sugarcoats things. She pushes players hard because she believes they can handle it. And Edwards embraced that challenge. Instead of becoming frustrated when mistakes were pointed out, she leaned into the process. She watched more film. She worked longer hours in the gym. She focused on strengthening the parts of her game that needed improvement. Gradually, the results began to show. Her scoring became more efficient. Her defensive awareness improved dramatically. She started rebounding with greater consistency, using positioning and timing rather than just raw athletic ability. Teammates noticed the difference. Coaches noticed it too. Edwards was no longer just a promising young player. She was becoming a reliable contributor in crucial moments. And that's exactly what Dawn Staley looks for. One of the defining characteristics of South Carolina's program is depth. No player is guaranteed minutes simply because of their reputation. Every spot in the rotation must be earned. That competitive environment has produced some of the best teams in women's college basketball. For Edwards, it meant learning how to thrive in a system where everyone sacrifices for the greater good. There were games where she scored big points. Other nights, her impact came through defense, rebounding, or simply making the right pass. The Gamecocks' style of play demands versatility, and Edwards began showing that she could contribute in every area of the game. One of the biggest improvements in her sophomore season has been her confidence. You can see it in the way she moves on the court. The hesitation that sometimes appeared during her freshman year has disappeared. Now when Edwards gets the ball in the post, when she sees an open lane, she drives. When a teammate needs help defensively, she rotates without hesitation. That confidence didn't appear overnight. It came from countless hours of work, and from the trust being built between player and coach. Dawn Staley believes in preparing players for more than just college basketball. Her program has produced numerous stars who have gone on to shine in the professional rank. And Edwards is learning what it takes to reach that level. That means understanding the game mentally as well as physically. It means leading by example. It means maintaining focus during the long grind of a college season. For Edwards, the sophomore year journey has been about growth both on and off the court. She's learning how to handle, how to respond to adversity, how to stay disciplined even when things aren't going perfectly. Those lessons are exactly what Staley wants her players to absorb. Because championships are not won by talent alone. They're won by teams that stay connected, disciplined, and focused when the stakes are highest. And that's where Edwards' development becomes even more important. As the Gamecocks continue competing at the highest level, players like her represent the future of the program. Her combination of size, skill, and basketball IQ makes her a matchup nightmare. But what makes her truly valuable is her willingness to learn. She understands that every season brings new challenges. Every opponent presents a different. Every game is another opportunity to. For fans watching South Carolina this season, Edwards' evolution has been one of the most exciting. From a highly touted recruit to a confident sophomore contributor, her journey reflects exactly what the Gamecocks program stands for. Hard work, accountability, growth. And under the leadership of Dawn Staley, those values continue to shape players into champions. As Edwards looks ahead to the rest of her college career, the potential is enormous. She has the tools to become one of the best forwards in the country. She has the mentorship of one of basketball's greatest minds. And she has the support of a program built on excellence. The story of Joyce Edwards is still being written. But if her sophomore season is any indication, the next chapters are going to be even more exciting. And for South Carolina fans, that's something worth watching very closely. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Joyce Edwards' growth with the Gamecocks, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest basketball story. And tell us in the comments, how big of a star do you think Joyce Edwards will become under Dawn Staley? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And as the journey of Joyce Edwards continues, one thing is becoming clearer with every game: this young star is only scratching the surface of what she can become. Under the guidance of legendary coach Dawn Staley and within the championship culture of the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball program, Edwards is developing the mindset, discipline, and confidence needed to reach the very top of the game. The sophomore leap isn't just about scoring more points or grabbing more rebounds. It's about understanding the game at a deeper level, embracing leadership, and rising to the moment when the team needs it most. And if this season has shown us anything, it's that Joyce Edwards is embracing that challenge with everything she has. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Joyce Edwards will become the next superstar to rise out of South Carolina's powerhouse program? Comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with fellow basketball fans so we can keep bringing you more powerful stories from the world of women's college basketball. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.